Kidding me? She's incredible. I, being the child of actors, you can imagine, I have been raised in California and New York. And I just want to say, as a tribute to the greatest magazine, being the New Yorker, I can't help but imagine one table off in the corner being created a hopefully brilliant cartoon that California was given one table, and the cartoon is them sort of in shame with their shoulders up around them, because as someone who lives in California, we have a lot to learn about how you are supporting each other in this city and in this state. We somehow can't figure out a tax incentive. I don't understand it. So for all my friends in California who have moved here and Atlanta and Minneapolis and North Carolina to be away from their families, I'm so grateful for you being the beacon of this kind of light to stand together to support our industry in such a magnificent way. So thank you for truly being the teachers of that. You listening, California. I mean, we got two secessionist states, guys. We've got to band together here. I'm so grateful to be here with you in this room of extraordinary people and standing here witnessing these amazing faces of remarkable women and already listening to the words of your Lieutenant Governor, of Alicia's amazing speech. I will try to heed one of my muses, now her daughter's, advice to also keep it brief and wrap it up. But a couple of things I'd love to speak on that I'm learning about. And one is, having come to Women in Film luncheons, thanks to my mother, Diane Ladd, much of my life. It was like this one room every year where women were together and women were talking about supporting each other in this industry. And I wasn't hearing it anywhere else. So it sounded amazing as this philosophy, but I also wasn't seeing it actively in place on film sets. When I started at age 11, every crew member being male, including my makeup and hair departments, very rarely working with another actress, unless there was another girlfriend part in the teen movie. I mean, especially if I was like the good girl next door, there had to be the kind of nasty girl who would challenge the boy. But it was limited, needless to say. And it has been a remarkable year, as everyone's been speaking to already. But one most specifically that has been perhaps in this transformational time about recognizing that if and when one voice stands up, others know they're not alone. And so many other voices then come together to stand up for each other. And it's been, from my life experience as a woman and as an artist, an experience of isolation, an experience at times of oppression and abuse of power, but also an experience of the overwhelming impact when being in that kind of culture of how can I put it, a scarcity theorizing. As much as I was raised by an extraordinary feminist and an active women's advocate, every day at work and in the environment I grew up in middle school, at a club, women weren't always standing together. So I'm inspired by you because an honor is there to say we're putting a light on something. So I'm grateful that you're putting a light on me personally being reminded of the work I need to do to stand up for everyone else in this room and in my community. Because I've been in the room where a handsome man walks in and women panic that he might see somebody else. And if there would only be just me and a group of guys, maybe he would have noticed me first, and now there's like 8 gorgeous women in the room. Or if there are other women on set, what if there's one job? So accountability is part of this time. It's not just looking at the behavior, particularly of men, in consideration of abuse of power, which we're seeing all the way to the top. As my daughter says, also my muse, Mom, I thought you said you're not supposed to bully on social media. Is anybody watching this? Because, Mommy, this is the opposite of what you told me the world was going to be like. So as I'm looking around, I personally want to say to you today, this year, how deeply and fiercely committed I am, not only to my colleagues and fellow actresses, but to every crew member, that as a child, even though I was raised in this business, I didn't ask why the camera loader was always a guy. And when I did finally understand and had an opportunity to produce, and I would ask my male line producer or my male studio executive, how come there isn't a female operator? How come the DPs are always male? How come the DGA trainee program, it's always young guys? What's happening? And they'd say, we'd love to hire more women. There aren't any. I mean, if you can give us a list of names, we'd be thrilled. I mean, female directors, like 4, and they're unavailable. So endlessly, this was the conversation. So thank you for the reminder of the work that needs to be done on a daily basis, for standing up and supporting other women. I'm grateful for the roles I've been privileged to play that are complicated and flawed and human and rage-filled and funny and sensual and sexual and scared and vulnerable and happen to be female. That's not the story they lead with. And I am very thrilled, both as an actor and a board member at the Academy, to speak to a lot of work that's happening, that in addition to Women in Film, so many organizations that always were separate trying to do one little job are all banding together now. And many of us are working with both Film and Television Academy, are deeply committed to this, as well as our unions, to make sure we're all together creating a universal database, so if any of us are looking for a camera loader, we have a list to go to of who's available in Atlanta this week, of where we can find each other. And so whether you're an actor or a filmmaker or the second, you know how to support each other and find jobs today to support each other in building our story. And obviously, gender pay gap and all the other work that needs to be done. But on a cultural level, that we are no longer afraid that somehow witnessing each other shine and be celebrated somehow dims our light. We stand together, and the brighter we are, the brighter we all are together. And it is your light that inspires me every day. I'm so grateful for this honor to be with all of you. And if there was one perfect anecdote to today for me, amidst extraordinary female filmmakers I've gotten to work with, I worked last year with the documentarian Jennifer Fox, who's in the room. And we were just gonna go do this tiny independent movie, and when we finished, there was more to be done. And so I'd get these periodic texts or calls from Jennifer saying, you know, I need more scenes. I was like, Jennifer, it doesn't work that way. She's like, oh, no, it does. I called my friend at Planned Parenthood, and they're giving us more money. I was like, really? I've never seen this before. So we do another day. And then 6 months later, she's like, oh, 2 more days to kind of finish the film. I was like, Jennifer, how are you going to get that money? This is like you can't, that movie. She said, no, Women in Film is actually supporting this. And then, another 6 months go by. Jennifer, there's no more money. Regina Scully is also going to be producer, and so there is more money. And honestly, I feel like half this room produced a movie called The Tale. So I just want to thank women for working together to give a filmmaker her team and it's a gorgeous reminder of the gift of being there for each other. So thank you for this incredible moment to get to witness all of you and be inspired by all of you. Bless you.